you can feel something shifting, you're not imagining it. 2026 is one of the most transformative years of the decade, and I want you to be able to take full advantage of it. That's why I'm hosting a live 2026 astrology forecast on January 8th. We're going to break down the biggest planetary shifts and themes of the year and how they'll affect your chart, so you can move into the year with clarity instead of confusion, faith instead of fear, and obviously a whole lot of cosmic sparkle. Head to cosmicrx.com to join us. This week, the sky is saying we are so back, baby. Ooh, how I missed you all.
Welcome to Cosmic RX Radio, a podcast that gives you real-life tools of spiritual empowerment and pure hype. I'm your host and intuitive guide, MADI Murphy. I'll be serving up your weekly energy readings, cosmic boss interviews, and astro inspiration. Are you ready to love yourself more, manifest your dream life, and own your magic? Let's jump in.
And my cosmic baddies, welcome back to our sixth, oh my goodness, season of Cosmic RX Radio, where I am your host, your guide, your cosmic consultant on this wild ride of being a human, MADI Murphy, where we like to break down little prescriptions via the planets, aka understand a little bit of the WTF that's happening here on Earth through the lens of the cosmos, so we can not only just align with our highest and hottest self, but be here for a huge cosmic, cultural, and spiritual revolution and evolution. And are we feeling it, or are we feeling it? And this week, I have to say, the sky just wants to say, before we even jump into any of it, I missed two babies. Me and the sky, we missed our little hang. We missed this group chat of the witchy weirdos, the mystic misfits, the lovers, the lover girls, the crybabies, the ones who are just sensitive but whimsical. And I'm just like the break was definitely needed for me. Thank you all for being so patient, but I'm so excited to come back. But of course, because the astrology keeps astrologing, I'm recording this and it's not Aries season yet, because I gotta get this to my team, and I am feeling it. I am in the last few degrees of Pisces energy. So if you hear I have a little bit of a cold, I decided to not go on video today because I wanted to set up this whole new recording setup. But Mercury retrograde had other plans. All of my cool props and fun things that I had set up got lost in the sauce of the U.S. postal system. A plant that I ordered got knocked over last night. It's dirt. There's chaos everywhere. And I'm just here alongside you. But my Virgo is a South Node in Virgo, y'all. So we are releasing perfectionism. We are embracing wildness over perfectionism. We are grabbing our holographic cosmic cowgirl hats and saying, giddy up, yeehaw, and watch out, motherfuckers, because we are officially in the year of the fire horse. So check in. How's everyone feeling? Because the last few weeks were nutty, okay? I'm taking a sip of a hot beverage to warm my throat right now. But if you felt like the last few weeks, especially if you're Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, Sag, heavy in those placements, if you felt like the last few weeks you were getting punished, right alongside you. No, I mean, I know enough to know I'm not getting punished, but I do know that the eclipses, right? We had the Aquarius one, we had the Virgo one, and then we had Mercury retrograde in Pisces. We had a Neptune conjunct Aries. Neptune conjunct Saturn in Aries. We had a Mars square Saturn, and it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot on the macro. Good God, we're seeing so much senseless warmongering and just typical patriarchal BS playing out, I think, to such a level that even the most, previous ride or die person for the patriarchy is like, what? Are you guys okay? Down to the micro of just the humaning of it all, right? Again, I would never say Mercury retrograde is not coming to, you're going to survive. But yeah, it can be all the stuff that when the wheels are already shaking of life and looking up against where we headed as a humanity and all these things. Then when like the passwords don't work or your car breaks down, or I mean, look at what's happening with the airlines right now. That is so Mercury retrograde. It can really just feel like, you know what, I'm gonna go back to bed. So if that was you, I just want to offer context and also like camaraderie, companionship. Like this full moon eclipse in Virgo was on my son. So of course I got sick. Of course, like we had emergency pediatric dental appointments on our trip to Florida. Of course, the water main line burst outside of my apartment. We had no water for days. Of course, my kitchen sink is leaking separately of that. But I do know that there's always these lessons, right? Like the redirection things are showing to you. I'm so happy I took this break, even though I missed all of you, because so much new inspiration poured through, so much rest that I needed allowed me to just fill my cup, see things in perspective. And I am so excited just to be here, but also to let you know that I am so excited in general. I just want you to know, if you have been feeling so downtrodden lately, especially by the state of the world, I am going to encourage you to give a break of the doom scrolling, because we know there's things happening. We want to stay informed, but we also know that the doom scrolling is such an energy suck. And like, there's people who are profiting, and this has been this way for a while, obviously, in algorithmic social media days, profiting from your fear, your overwhelm. And I need you in a space of creation, whimsy, connection. That's why I keep saying this is the year of the sacred party girl. So as we move into Aries season, we're going to, I think, really feel that. I always find for the year that the first few months of the year, right, like the Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, it's almost like the season finale or the epilogue from the year before. So consider that was the epilogue from 2025. Now we're in 2026, right? We locked in the lunar new year, year of the fire horse, and now we're locking into the solar new year, the zodiacal new year that started on March 20th. Mercury goes direct. Aries season locks in, and it might take a few days, but like by the end of March, by early April, I promise you, you're going to feel, okay, I'm not behind, I'm being initiated, I'm kicking off, and I'm ready to actually live my life and go after something that's been lighting me up. And that is going to connect you back to some of your incredible life force energy. Okay. And I just say this, and I'm saying this to myself right now too. We're just all in this together. So we're going to take a breath. If you haven't already today, take a really intentional breath. We're going to hold my hand and we're going to go walk through it together. Okay. Mama MADI, she's back. And when I tell you, you know, like I think about this all the time. I have children right now. I have young children. I have nieces, nephews I adore. I am so invested and excited where we're going over the next 20 years. But I also know that we are in the death rattle of a lot of nonsense. We also have way too much access to every single person's thought and hot take on it. So as I talk about the astrology coming up, I just want us to use astrology as one of my favorite instruments of how I like to use astrology is helping shape our collective prayer, like a music sheet that we're all reading notes from, that we can play our unique song and weave a new world into consciousness. Because when I tell you that, you know, there's astrology happening, astrology, like, it informs and it compels, it doesn't impel, and it can give us a context for what's the energy available. And one thing that I've been doing here for you all with years, and I've shared it, and it's almost like an experiment, is that what if we all used, if we know the collective energy is happening, and more than any time on earth, there's more people who are astrologically literate in a way that is profound. What if we use that as a prayer? We know that, okay, Pluto's in Aquarius, so we're moving forward to a more inclusive society. We're bringing ancient wisdom into modern day technology for like making the future ancient. What if Pluto in Aquarius means that we're in a whole revolutionary society, redistribution of power, right? What if Saturn and Neptune and Aries is used for being the change, being the warrior, being so in your self-reliance and self-discipline, so in your independence, autonomous self, that you are ungovernable in the best way. And you know, I could go on, and that's what I like to do here is shift this astrology not only for us on a personal level, but on a planetary level, so we can work with the high octaves, right? The high conscious frequencies of the planets. And I think it's such a cool opportunity every week when you listen to this forecast to literally sit and imagine the week playing out in your own life, but the world at large, of like the good things that can happen, the good frequencies we can align to, the good timeline that we are bunny hopping into. All right. So as we go into the moon report and the planetary planning, I just wanted to say that as a little pep talk, because I'm back. And even though like you can hear my voice, I am still in the Pisces energy. I have we've had like all these colds going around. I am feeling like, coming out of it. My perfectionism moment was like, oh, my recording place isn't ready. I'm a little under the weather, but I also feel this like pull in me where I just miss the baddies. I need to get in this episode. And, it's one thing to rest if I really needed to, but I've been resting for, 6 weeks. This was more facing within myself that pull of perfectionism. Like, do I want to show up? Not 110% energy. Do I want to show up, kick off the season with a new little like zone? Yeah, of course, I want to do all that, but I am committing to this year to not letting overthinking kill my magic, to not getting in my own head too much when I feel that pull, that like pull from the gut, that fire in my belly that I want to do something, to just do it, even if everything around me doesn't look perfect and I don't feel quote unquote ready. So I hope you gave yourself permission to do the same, because that is a lot of what this year of the fire horse is about and what it's going to reward. And in terms of my Virgo announcements, we do have some amazing offerings for you on the Astro Academy. While I was away, we did do, first of all, we did an amazing eclipse coaching container. It's over right now, but definitely stay tuned if we do another one of those. It was such a powerful, potent group, and it makes such a difference to ride out such crazy astrological weather in a group of like-minded, cool, creative, brilliant people who are offering so much. That was like a very cool experience. And also, one thing that I'm going to talk about till I'm blue in the face is that this season, this whole like next 20 years of our society is we're essentially building a matriarchy. We are embodying matriarchal consciousness while the rest of the world catches up to it, right? And one of the things we really need right now is we need you shifted away from influence, whether that's the influence of actual influencers, the news, parents, society, your boss. We all, right? In my book, I talk about it as like the capital P pressure. We just feel this like invisible pressure to look a certain way, be a certain way, raise our kids a certain way, choose a career path, choose a timeline. This time that we're in is collapsing influence and asking us to follow our intuition. The path of choosing someone else's influence for your own life is going to feel like wearing shoes that don't fit, like wearing clothing that does not fit. It is not going to be comfortable. You are not going to enjoy life. You're not going to get as far as you want to go if you're living on someone else's terms, if you're living out someone else's map. So I created a course called the Intuitive Authority Method. And I am is what the initials are, because I want you to stand tall and strong in the I am. I know that a lot of you have been, have done intuitive work, have done intuitive development work. So I'm preaching to the choir here, but I do just want to remind us all that intuition isn't just for being woo-woo and being spiritual and like pulling cards and like doing party tricks and being like, oh my God, I totally guessed that you were an Aries rising, right? Our intuition is a built-in intelligence system, especially as women, that's kept us alive for many generations, right? And understanding the subtle shifts, picking up on the things when something is off or something is really right, being able to trust that, right? It's decision intelligence. And I find that it helps, if you're in business, it helps in our relationships, it helps build confidence, it helps fuel artistic movements, and if you're feeling creatively stuck, and it really matters right now, right? Like in these revolutionary times, like we've been saying this for a minute, but it's really becoming quite obvious that like external authority is not reliable. The news isn't reliable. We have to understand our internal compass. I also think living in intuitive energy is just more fun, but it's not as simple as just, saying, okay, I'm gonna dig a third eye, crystal, put on my forehead. You have to understand energy, hygiene, discernment. You have to understand like how your intuition might speak to you. And again, how your unique chart might help you understand, how, the way in which you're processing intuitive information. And of course, then we talk about acting on it, which is also the other hard part. But it's hard and it can feel challenging and you can feel crazy in the moment. But the more you do it, the more you're like, oh my God, I am flying, I'm flowing with life. So if that is something that's of interest to you, check that out in the show notes and stay tuned if you are a Saturn return baby. If you have your Saturn in Aries on March 31st, we are going to do a free webinar of how to thrive and not just survive during your Saturn return. I think it's such an important initiation. It's such an important moment in your life. And I really created everything that we create on the Saturn return for things I wish I had. I wish that things that I knew, tools, advice, but just affirmation of like, this is a wildly disruptive, but can be a wildly potent time to choose your life on your own terms and stand on your own 2 feet and really shake off again those things that hold us sort of in cages, those things that attach us to other people's expectations or ideas. So stay tuned for that. We'll link things in the show notes as we can. Always, you can check out our Instagram or cosmicrx.com. So long Virgo announcements, I know, but I missed you all and I was really busy. I guess the last thing I will say, Virgo announcements, is a lot of you follow our Substack Cosmic RX for your weekly newsletter. If you love my If Astrology Isn't Real, where I talk more about the intersection of pop culture and politics and what it means for us, and if you're interested in like leadership energy, whether that's in business, in art, in your household, for right now, for what's coming, if you want to understand the tools you need, maybe the trends that are going to be coming up, just how to, again, unplug from all of this nonsense and really tap into your wild, cosmic, matriarchal, like badass cowgirl who's taking the reins and leading the way. Check out, I started a Substack called The Cosmic Revolution. So it's like a partner with, my Cosmic RX work. This is like the day-to-day. These are the prescriptions, the full moons, the Mercury retrogrades. That I talk about higher level planetary shifts, what it means for us. I just wanted to have something that lived all in one place. I also am breaking down, the birth charts of Pete Hegseth or whatever I'm seeing coming up in the news. And it's also where I go to scream into the void a lot, but in longer form. So check that out. Like I said, I did make good use of the break. So thank you for being so gracious. And again, as we go into talking about Aries season, even writing that Substack, I usually research something to filth. I will look up like 100 examples of what I want to do. How do I want to, who do I want to be here? What's the template I want to use? What's the format? And I will compare myself, and sometimes my Virgo, that will leave me in an analysis paralysis where then I'm just like, I did all this research and then my brain's like, I'm shot, I'm done, I don't even want to get started. Or I read there's a part of your brain that when you research and write about something too much, it thinks you already did it. So it sends the signal that it's done. I hard relate to that. There was something really cool about just sitting down one day in a coffee shop and just letting my heart freaking flow. I've wanted to start a Substack since 2023. I just sat down. It was like, today is the day. It is bursting like within, like from you within the inside out. Go sit down, write. And that was pretty much my understanding of like, oh, this is how the year of the fire horse is going to feel a lot. Like if you don't do this thing, it's going to like burn you up from the inside out. So you actually don't really care about it being perfect. And perfect doesn't mean anything anymore. It's so easy for anyone to create something quote unquote perfect and polished. We need real, we need authentic, we need tuned into the moment. We need people sharing their stories, sharing their medicine, and like not sanding all the edges down, right? With the over editing, the over comparison, or just the waiting. So let's talk about the moon. Let's talk about the moon. Let's talk about what she needs us to know. As a reminder, if you're new here, wow, what an episode to come into. We go over the moon report every week. We talk about the emotional weather. We talk about how we can use the moon, changes every 2.5 days, and the moon affects our inner landscape and our feelings. So when we understand what sign the moon is in, what she's doing, we can better regulate ourselves. We can better understand our needs. We can just meet the world in a better place because we're attuned to our inner selves. So Monday to Tuesday, we have a moon in Gemini. So emotional themes, think busy minds, cute, curious little hearts. Yes, a little chaotic, feeling social. You might feel mentally overstimulated. You might feel chatty, distracted, bouncing between ideas, craving like connection, click clack connecting. The things you want to do on these days is definitely, this is a great day to write, journal, voice note, brain dump, everything out. This is a great time to hit people up for conversation, whether that's like fun, light conversation, deep talks, get out with your gal pals, your friends. Honestly, I love on Gemini moon days to move my body, even if it's like walking, to clear that mental clutter. I'm always endlessly like, oh, duh. When I move my body, I'm like, I get why that makes sense. Because it is like, it clears the static, right? So following curiosity without pressure to commit and just letting yourself go down, like be curious about something, a new craft, a new hobby, a new subject, but just don't go down rabbit holes. Don't go down rabbit holes that are like going to send you into a thoughts overthinking spiral. Don't go into making big emotional decisions. Don't go into believing every thought you think. And then a Gemini moon reminder is not every thought is truth, right? Some are just passing weather. Some are just not attaching ourselves to every cloud in the sky. Some things are just passing. And we don't have to be like attach our reality to every single one of those. Wednesday to Friday, we have a moon in Cancer. Emotional themes are being soft, are being sensitive, are being deeply feeling. We're feeling nostalgic, we're feeling protective of our energy. We're craving home, we're craving comfort, we're craving safety. We do want to tend to our nervous system, right? We want to rest, nest, we want to nourish ourselves. We want to connect with people who feel like exhale energy, who make us feel like home. We want ourselves to let ourselves feel rushed without rushing to fix it, right? We want to not override our needs. We want to make sure we're not taking things personally that aren't about us. And we're definitely making sure on Cancer moon days, we don't want to abandon ourselves to take care of others. So a great Cancer moon reminder is, you're allowed to need what you need. You're allowed to be in the place of tending to yourself, right? And not apologizing for that, right? That's my Cancer key from my book. And then Friday to Sunday, we're gonna have a moon in Leo. So we want to think about emotional themes, expressive, bold, heart-led. You want to feel more confident. You want to feel more creative. You want to feel more seen. You want to feel a desire for attention in a good way. Like you don't have to apologize for wanting to be seen. Fun, play, whimsy, maybe ready to put yourself out there. This is Aries sun, Leo moon. That's just bada bing, bada boom, like super, super fun, super sparkly energy. And I do want you to think about, sharing yourself, your voice, your art, letting yourself be celebrated, doing something that makes you feel alive, doing something that helps you feel like connected to your heart space. And the things I want you to avoid is don't dim yourself, right? To become more digestible. If you want to do something, you're holding back because what will other people think? It's kind of like, fuck what other people think, right? Like you got to choose you, baby, right? Like this is your life. This is your shot, your opportunity. We don't want to seek validation from the wrong people. We don't want to play small when your heart wants more. We want to have a Leo moon reminder of like, you're not too much, right? You're meant to be seen. You're meant to be witnessed in your sparkle. So, as we're going into that, I want to talk about the week's astrology. So as we tap into the moon, that's our inner world. Then we go into the planetary planning, AKA the higher level inner planets, outer planets. What's happening? Most importantly, how is it impacting us here on Earth? What might we be feeling? And again, how can we align with the highest vibration of that energy, the highest outsourcing of that energy? So, like I said, we are so back in the beginning. Aries season. Aries season is online. Mercury has gone direct. So we're going to feel slowly a clarity returning, a momentum building. Your desires getting louder. We're feeling into like, just this energy like I've been talking about with the Substack, with the things like just start. Start now, start messy. You can edit it. You can youify it later, but just start. And as we go into the week, we keep building off of that. So on March 25th, we have a Sun and Saturn is in Aries. And this is a cosmic moment that is going to feel a bit like pressure, right? But pressure that makes you powerful. Saturn is testing all of us, our resolve, our discipline, our ability to build ourselves autonomously. And where things feel hard is where you're being asked to grow up, level up, and commit, right? This might feel like resistance. This might feel like delays. This might feel like, why is this just not working yet? Energy. So I'm going to invite you to not quit, but get strategic. If something needs to be fixed at a foundational level, instead of forcing the outcome, maybe approach it from that perspective, okay? And then ask, what would a future version of me do here? Like plug on your higher self who already has it all figured out. Also ask for help. Saturn loves mentors, loves advice from other people who've already gone that path. And just think, right? Like someone has had this problem before. Can you rethink it, reevaluate it from that perspective? And then on March 26th, Venus is going to link up with Chiron and Aries. So this is just an opportunity to drop into some beautiful, radical self-love this days. We've been in a Chiron and Aries cycle for 7 years, and there's wounds around love, worth, rejection might come up, not to hurt you, but maybe to show you where you finally have moved through them, right? And you might have some kind of emotional flashback. Again, we're still in Mercury retrograde shadow too here. And the Cosmic RX, is to meet yourself with compassion, not criticism, to be curious about what's coming up, to take inventory of your growth, and to see, especially like over the past, let's see, when did Chiron move into Aries officially? I'm just going to pull it up on my computer here because I know it was 2018. Yeah, the initial dip was April 2018. So like, what have you learned about yourself since then? Probably a lot. And then I would say invitation on this day is do something brave, right, in the direction of healing. Say the thing, choose something differently, invest in your growth, and just have a loving reminder that like loving yourself fully from that place is choosing that first is where everything you want on the other side of choosing yourself first. And then March 30th through April 24th, on March 30th, we have Venus moves into Taurus. So if you have a Venus in Taurus, it's your Venus return. Love that for you. And for all of us, for this month, pleasure is productive. Pleasure is one of the most productive things we can do or feel or experience. And I do want us to think about, like, can we allow ourselves to slow down? Can we allow ourselves to be in our body on purpose? Not like me getting slowed down because, like when I go too fast and the universe slaps me down with like a little head cold. It's like, can we enjoy your life while you're building it? Can you enjoy your life while you're building it? It's okay to not be completely there or arrived, but can you enjoy the process of it? Can you romanticize your routines? Can you invest in quality over quantity? This is so big, right? Can you make your life feel like something you really want to be in? And for relationships, can you choose a slow burn over fast chaos? Can you choose depth over drama? Can you choose that, there is a feeling where this reminder that stability can be sexy, and the most sensual thing you can do sometimes is just being in your body. And there's so much intelligence in that, connecting to your five senses, being in nature, of course, and really just taking a big exhale, which I like this grounding energy while we have all this Aries in the sky. And then that leads us into a beautiful full moon in Libra on April 1st. And, this is a cosmic theme that is going to be about relationships, things coming into full bloom, or a truth serum around relationships, or showing where we need to have more quote unquote balance. Perfect balance is a myth, I would say, but in terms of harmony, in terms of attunement, and this might bring up on a relationship level, just thinking, are certain things aligned or not, right? Are certain things at a breaking point or a turning point? There might be defining the relationship, real conversations, more communications about needs, trust, the future. Things around money might come up, and I just encourage you as a Cosmic RX for this full moon to be honest about what you actually need. The Aries Libra balance, right? Aries Sun, Moon in Libra is about honoring the me and the we, right? And not settling for almost, not putting other people's needs above your own, and asking yourself, do I feel secure, right? When we're not together, is this connection mutual? Are we feeling good? Communicating clearly, even if it's uncomfortable. And I think, as a reminder, like fair doesn't always mean 50-50 because it's hard to have that in a relationship, but it can just mean true, aligned, and balanced. And then the rest of the week, we just have some April 3rd, Venus square Pluto. So, there might be some intense attraction, power dynamic things coming up. Again, just a good invitation to slow down, ask deeper questions. April 5th, Sun is square Jupiter. So again, we're looking at the Aries versus the Cancer in us of like, okay, can I, meet my own needs while also caring about other people? But like, if I'm in a people-pleasing pattern, something might backfire. Maybe you have to take a little space for yourself before some kind of resentment builds in. And just knowing like, you don't need to disappear to be independent, but sometimes you do need that honest like space and a little boundary and a little like, hey, I need to do my own, but I don't need to burn every bridge, right? So your overall cosmic message is you're building a life that feels really good to live in, not just one that looks good on paper, right? That is the big thing right now. We're detaching from all of these shoulds and these fake constructs. And this season is asking you to be braver, to be more honest, to be more rooted in your worth, to be more rooted in your truth, and to really move like your life is yours and to live it like it's yours because it is, baby, okay? So just, circling back to what I was saying in the beginning, we're not here to just survive and clench down and grit our teeth through this moment. You're here to shape this moment. You're here to really get clear on who you are, follow what lights you up, build real community. These are all the things that are going to shape our new versions of what power and success really are from a heart-centered place. And this is how we're going to move forward together. So as always, I am sending you prayers and blessings for big, fat, juicy ass checks, for aligned AF opportunities. I'm throwing that in there. And for, of course, that super sexy, toe curling, really fulfilling sex because it's Aries season and we're getting the checks, we're getting the sex, and we're getting even more, okay? Because I need all of my baddies securing their bags. I love you. Go live your chart. Go honor your heart. And I'll see you next week. Mwah. Do you love getting your Cosmic RX for the week here and want more? Make sure to sign up for our premium subscription so you can get exclusive access to bonus podcast episodes, all of my astrology info for the month ahead, and live new and full moon calls to help you manifest your dream life with an intentional international community of other cosmic baddies. Sign up through our link in show notes.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you want to know more about Cosmic RX, head on over to thecosmicrx.com. And if you really love this show, I'd love it if you left a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. I super love hearing from you and reading your reviews. All right, you cosmic baddie, tune in next week. And until then, remember, love yourself fully, work your magic, and take no shit.